What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Phil Chocolate, 96 Hedgehog here, and we are here for the ICPL tournament run. We are doing a mini tournament league to kind of test out the tiers for the next season. Next season, it's probably most likely, if it's not on Showdown and it's on Wi-Fi, it will be a Show 6 Spring 4 type of meta like we did last time with the best of 3 series, just because, again, with a 20-minute timer, which I can definitely understand. So, we're here to do a mini double elimination, 8 coaches tournament style winners bracket and losers bracket. So this is going to be a very important game for us to have to go through in this season. So we basically get 2 chances to win it here, and I think we have a powerful team. But all because I have a powerful team doesn't mean I'm going to win. So I'm hoping to pick up our mini championship here in Gen 9 right out of the gate. As you can see, we're already doing MLG for that season. We have 6 more weeks left to go in here. So I figured I want to join some more leagues that have any opportunity to play into some of the games. I already have at least 1 or 2 that I'm more than likely going to be joining for sure. So we're going to get a lot of Gen 9 content getting going right here. But real quick, I'm going to go over the team because I could have done this right away, and I probably would have. And I was debating whether or not I was going to record it. But I figured, you know what, we're going to get some Gen 9 content out there. So let's go ahead and get in it. So you guys are excited, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Push Rocker crew today because we feel like the crew because we are now crushing it right now. We have over 4,300 views on this channel, which is insanely great. We've had a massive, great success rate of subscribers to views and watch time. We have over 5 hours on watch time on my channel, which is amazing. Thank you all so much for the support. And if we can maybe cap off this year with at least 45, maybe 50, if we can get subscribers, we can start making that way, baby. So with that being said, though, I've got my plugin, I've got my support out there. Let's get into the team. So I had the second overall pick in this league, and I had basically to me, I knew I had 2 options going to me being Rory Moon and Fluttermane. I think there was no doubt in my mind to pick one of those 2, and surprisingly enough, Palafin was the first overall pick, which I don't know if I agree with that being the first overall pick, but that left me with now the options of Rory Moon and Fluttermane, and I feel like when you want to counter team draft and stuff like that, what do you think you can draft better at? I think I can draft more answers to things like Rory Moon than I can draft over Flutter Main because Flutter Main is more broken and it's the only time it's going to probably ever be allowed. So why not grab it? I grabbed Flutter Main. We're going to name it Loon after my good buddy Loon, who's in the Devil's Den with our buddy Brendan and all that. Because Loon stole this shiny from me, but then I got redemption from him actually the other night. So we're naming it Loon just for the fun of it and stuff like that. But we got Fluttermane here. This was one of the Pokemon I really wanted to try so much. So even though like you're only gonna play this mon in like Uber leagues and stuff like that, the fact that I had the opportunity to actually try it in this format is gonna be insanely great. So I'm looking forward to trying Fluttermane in this league. There are so many possibilities on sets you can run. You can run Scarf, Choice Specs. You can run Rooster Energy to customize your special attack or speed or Mimi's with Depth if you really wanted to. Assault Vest on this Pokemon is stupidly disgusting because then you can just take all the special hits you want. It's the best special wall in the game, essentially. And I'm super excited to try Fluttermane. I am very much really looking forward to this. Mischievous getting a buff like this is an absolute awesome Pokemon. Just saw the amazing buff to Iron Bundle. So, yeah, definitely excited to try this Pokemon. Second time coming around with my first wheel I essentially had, I went with Iron Treads. And I'm actually a little surprised Iron Treads didn't go as later as I thought it would. But I knew I just need to scoop this guy up or else he was not going to make it back to me. I think Iron Treads is one of the best Paradox Pokemon in drafted as well. Again, Ground Steel, the good old reliable typing that a good old Excadrill has. You guys know me and my Excadrill, I know how to work them. But with having Iron Treads here, though, it does give it one with Spikes, gives us one with Stealth Rocks, it gives us a great combination in Ground Stab. And if I wanted to make this Terra Captain, which is no Terra Captain, you get to Terra whatever you want, and any typing you want. So this is really going to make Terra kind of broken, but I think I know how exactly I want to run this. But great offensive stats, great defensive stuff, and a usable special attack stat might I add you as well that we can actually maybe take advantage of if there's a matchup there. But I love Iron Treads. This is going to be one of the really premier Paradox Mons in Draft League, I feel like. It's just good. And also with 106 speed, getting rid of those base 100s, and even getting rid of some of like those weird like 101s, 102 speed tiers as well, is really clutch, especially for a Pokemon like this that can take advantage of speed and just overall really good hazard setter. And to pair with that, we got my boy. I don't know why we name him Aries. We're gonna name him because this was a random name I was naming it because at the time I was naming these Paradox Pokemon after actually some stupid names. And actually I kind of like the name I had honestly for the so we have Autobots. There we go. We're gonna go with that, and we'll capitalize that. It's gonna trigger my OCD. But back to this, I paired that off with Slitherwing. I felt like these three together pair off so well together. I think this is a really good start to an offensive core with having some defensive viability in this. As you can tell, Slytherin's a little bit more of a specially defensive Pokemon, but also very much offensive as all hell and back. Speed is less to be desired with, obviously, but again, with something like customization, with your speed and stuff like that, it can be possibly. This thing is meant to be mostly just a monster and offensive breaker. Like choice band sets are scary. Dual stab of bug and fighting has always been proven to be a massive typing, and plus, this is one of the things I wanted to pair with Iron Treads because of that massive flying weakness that we're gonna have. Obviously, fire weakness is a little problem, and I'm not gonna really patch up that fire weakness all that well, but we're gonna go with it though, because I at least have one guaranteed answer to fire types, and I also kind of have a little cool check to fire types as well. But overall, I feel like Slytherin's gonna be really good. Also, if you see all these shinies on the gameplay screen, it's because these are shinies I have legitimately caught in the game. And every time I'm going for it, if I catch a shiny, I'm 100% using the shiny form, even though I don't like it. Like I don't really care too much for Mr. Mist, but I love Slytherin, so I'm glad I got that. I'm super excited. First impression is also amazing on this thing. So, and having flying coverage and fire coverage on this Pokemon, it's gonna be sick, man. Up next, I took a page out of my good buddy Owen's OG Albino's playbook here with having a Titan mini core instead of a Hail setter, but I wanted to pick up Slowking for chilling reception. Again, it's another special defensive wall that pairs well with Fluttermane, but also pairs well with the physically defensive stats that I have with my Iron Treads. So my team's definitely looking a bit more towards like a bulky offensive team right now, but we're going to pick that up here relatively quickly. But Paul here, our Slowking, again, Regenerator, is a pretty cool idea. But again, the main reason I drafted this thing was because of chilling reception. Basically, Slowking is going to start a bad joke, start the snow, and then he's going to pivot out. Almost kind of like how Teleport was working, like where it was where you would pivot out going slow. It's kind of exactly how this will work as the new Teleport until Home comes out. And who knows if Home comes out, the Teleport will come back or not. It really kind of just depends. So I don't know. But regardless, though, Paul here is going to be really good to pair off with a Titan. I think these two, again, pair off really well with each other. And I'm actually excited to try Slowking. I have never once used Slowking before, so I'm hoping to have some fun with it this season. Up next, we have our boy Narwhal here, our Titan here. And again, the main reason I drafted this was to pair off with the Slowking. It is the fastest Slush Rush user in the game, which is really important. And Slush Rush only activates in snow. It doesn't activate in hail, so that's got to be one thing. But what's mostly cool about that, with having a base 170 HP stat, I can custom and tailor which defenses I want boosted more. Because if you guys don't know, Snow now boosts defense of Ice types, which for Ice typing, that's a massive buff. That is a massive buff that Ice typing got, which is really cool. But the Titan here is going to be a massive monster. I've been wanting to try this mon out for sure. This is definitely one of those mons I want to keep using and trying to see how much fun I can have with it. I'm super excited, and there's also possibilities with Terra Captaining as well with this mon as well. So I'm really excited to try this thing out and have some fun with it. Now, you saw I had 2 mons of Protosynthesis, right? If you guys don't know, Protosynthesis only activates when you use booster energy, but it also activates when you have the sun out. So I thought to myself, you know what? I have Fluttermane. I've got Slitherwing. What if I decided to not only make a mini Hail team with just 2 Mons, but make a Sun team out of one more Mon, what you'll see next, and a using of my Protosynthesis Mons? So I thought to myself, let's grab Torkoal. And I am so surprised no one grabbed Torkoal. I think we got a steal for it in round 6. I know it's 8 coaches, but still, that was a steal in round 6. A absolute steal. So I am super excited to try Torkoal again. I have had some really cool success with Torkoal. First time I ever used Torkoal, I actually 6-0'd someone essentially with Torkoal, which was pretty funny. But the first time I ever tried Torkoal with Sun, I actually have liked Torkoal with Sun. it's definitely a very viable and usable Pokemon. But overall, I think Torkoal is just awesome, and I'm really excited. It was another stealth rocker for this team, which is really great. But also, it provided our second form of rapid spin. So it's again another hazard supporter in this team with getting rid of hazards, which is really important. Which helps out my Flutter Mane. It'll help out my Titan. It'll help out my Slitherwing. Just stuff like that. But obviously, if I'm grabbing Sun, I've got to grab the Pepper. And we're grabbing my homegirl Pepper here. And this is an absolute demon of a mon. Good luck trying to figure out where you're going to switch into this thing. Because this mon is an absolute demon. With 108 in both its attack and its special attack, you cannot you will not be able to know whether or not I am going to be either physical, or special. This thing does get access to growth, which gives me a +2 in the hail, plus in the sun, I mean. And really great, like, look at the great grass coverage we have. Great grass coverage in Energy Ball, Engage Rain, Fire Blast, and Flame Thrower. Solar Beam coverage is really good. But one of the big things is going to be Terra Blast. And this is where Terra Blast is going to be really kind of confusing for my opponent, especially on a mon like Scovillain. Because Terra Blast is going to work on either my physical attack or my special attack. Basically, whatever is my highest stat will be the massive buff it goes into. Now, primarily, this thing might be special, but I want to maybe throw off my opponent and bring like a mixed offensive set. I can run things like Crunch or Fire Fang, some stuff like that, Seed Bomb and stuff like that. I want to really try to make sure I can just kind of like worry my opponent in some way that he has to be very careful about. But I'm super excited for Scovillain. This one's being in a lot of love, and I'm ready to give it a try. First ever Pepper Pokemon and the first ever Grass Fire type. I'm really excited to see how this thing does. Now, this mon gets a lot of hate, and I can understand why because of its design, its typing somewhat, and overall just its usage nowadays. And that's Iron Jugulis, but it's also let's say the same thing for Hydreigon. But Iron Jugulis does not get access to a Roost. It does not get access to. It gets access to Roost, but it's very minimal. Like Roost is only now. Oh, it doesn't even get Roost. Okay, never mind then. It doesn't get defog. This thing is purely just an offensive breaker, which honestly I'm fine with. It's a special offensive breaker because I don't have I have good amount of special offensive breaker, but I've been kind of leaning towards a little more physical. So I wanted to pick up another special breaker for the team. And pretty decent stats out here. Again, another base speed of 108. So we have another mon with over 108 speed tier. So we now have 3 to 4. We now have 4 mons on our team with over base 100 speed tier, which is really good. And we have sun support and hail and snow support. So my team is insanely fast and is going to force a lot of prep on my opponent's end. And I picked this thing primarily just to have a dark type. I also kind of didn't have a flying type at this point, so I didn't really have good ground immunities besides Slitherwing. I didn't want Slytherin to rely on being a ground switch in constantly, so that was one thing. So I think that was one of the reasons I wanted to pick this thing up. But I'm super excited to try this Pokemon out. It's going to be one of those mons I probably just slap a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs on, or maybe even boost your energy to try to get speed boost. But as you can kind of tell, I have a little backup plan there. But up next, I actually kind of messed up here. I didn't mean to pick up another Steel type. I completely forgot that I had picked up Iron Treads, and I was thinking to myself I needed a Steel type. And one of the ones I wanted to try was Earthworm, but this is where I was an idiot and forgot about this. But Earthworm is gonna be fun. It's another stealth rocker out there. It's a good mon of weakness of Iron Defense Body Press. It's got decent offense, but the main thing is Earth Eater, which is basically a ground type version of Water Absorb. So the fact that Game Freak is now making these type of abilities now is insane, and it's really going to be awesome. I'm super excited to try Earthworm. It's probably not going to come at all, or maybe not as much, unless I think there's a really good matchup for it. But overall, I'm super excited for Earthworm. I'm very much ready to try this Pokemon out, and I'm super excited for this Pokemon. I am really hoping for good things with this Pokemon, and hoping to have some fun with it. Obviously, we name it Jim for Earthworm Jim. I mean, come on. And last but not least, it's going to be Pincushion or what's it? But mostly I grabbed this thing for memento purposes, but I also grabbed it for spikes and toxic spikes primarily. Did it pick up stealth rocks as well? Okay. So again, this was a toxic spike user. I do not have a grounded poison type, so you do have to be careful against opposing toxic spike users. But now I set up toxic spikes, and it's going to force them to have to bring removal or bring their poison types to remove as well. So I'm super happy about that. For my electric typing, I don't really want it to be this. I would have drafted Iron Thorns, to be honest with you, but I'm already using Iron Thorns. I would have drafted Iron Hands, but actually someone drafted that, so I'm a little upset I didn't get that as well. But Overall, though, I'm actually really happy about the team I have here. It's definitely not a team I feel super comfortable with, but it has a lot of things I kind of like going for it with having speed, great offense. I don't really focus too much on having a lot of main defense, but if I pick it up, I pick it up. So we go from there. So have decent enough defense, I feel like, with good SPDF and more physical bulk as well. So I'm really confident with how this team's going to perform well. I'm hoping to at least make it to semifinals or finals at the very least. Um, we have a chance to make it to the semifinals in the winners bracket in the next if we win our match. We are going to be taking on Just Lucas, and just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up how this matchup's going to go. Lucas now has Houndstone with Last Respects Legal. He also has Rory Moon, Goldango, Glamora, Hippowdon, Screamtail, Scizor, Paldean, Fire Tauros, Dondozo, and Rotom Cut. So basically, he has a Sun team with some massive offensive threats and some really good hazard setters on his team. So it's going to be a very hard matchup for us, but I think we have the tools and necessary to win this one. So I'm super excited for this season, even though it's going to probably be maybe one, two, maybe three, 4 games. Who knows? But I'm super excited to try out some of these mods and have some fun. I hope you guys are ready to have some fun with me as we do this journey on this season. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, guys. Peace.